You can't do specific cross server, it'll make it tourney gear only. Oh really?
Okay.
I'm not aware. Alrighty. Again guys, if you're at the start, please don't attack unless the person on the other team is dead and it's your turn to go. Otherwise trying to leave.
Paladin?
Oh, it's Tyrga, the first one. Alright, this sounds good. Alright, Tyrga's starting to get dots on Saber. Saber puts out wall just to have reduction of magical damage taken right now. Tyrga is
put out at all.
Oh, Tyrga is just trying to kite the paladin as best as he can. The Hodge goes out, wings go out, but Tyrga doesn't even flinch. He just bark skins it and is just trying to kite away from it. Saber hasn't taken too much damage, just trying to keep his health up as best as possible. Tyrga though is getting some CC onto Saber, just trying to get some healing touch, burns a bubble and cancels it instantly, trying to make sure his wings get as much damage to Tyrga as possible. Just trying to keep up with the damage as best he can. Tyrga is still just kiting Saber as best as possible, but the Hand of Freedom is going to reduce it to an extent. Then Tyrga actually jukes Saber completely by blinking into the opposite direction and back to the kiting strat and casting at a distance. Tyrga still does have insta roots, so Saber is going to have to watch out for that. The Hodge goes out onto Tyrga, but no damage this time. Tyrga is not going to bark or trinket or anything against this one. Just keeps on pumping damage, and as Saber is trying to just put a dent in Tyrga, he's actually giving Tyrga instant procs for insta-cast abilities. So Tyrga is just taking advantage of it right now. The wall goes out for Saber as well, but still is getting chunked by Tyrga. I get some massive crits are coming out of Tyrga. Even though they're reduced by 40%, the damage is still pretty much present. Tyrga hasn't really been sitting in bear form all that much, doesn't really need the defense. The next Hodge goes out, again, no damage coming out of Saber really to put a dent to Tyrga. Puts him in a Hodge and isn't really able to do much about it, as Tyrga does put a bark skin just to counter it. Saber is actually dropping kind of low. Even if he does have Bop on himself, he is not going to be able to reduce any of the magical damage because Tyrga is dealing pure magical damage, and down goes Saber. Alright, the next one coming out is Iniquity, DK versus Boomy and the Boomkin. Tyrga starts in bear form off the bat, knowing how much damage DKs do. Iniquity burns through a D&D, but doesn't seem like he's burned through any big cooldowns. The AMS goes out, grips Tyrga. Tyrga then blinks it, gets stunned, and is forced to trinket. So Tyrga won't have a trinket for the next grip, but as long as Tyrga has blink for the grips, then Tyrga should be at a decent advantage. Tyrga is actually pumping some burst into Iniquity with NS, and I believe it's called Celestial Alignment. Just trying to pop some damage, is kind of putting a dent in Iniquity, but not too much. He's actually keeping him rooted, and here comes out one of the main trinkets that DKs possess. The bark skin goes out on Tyrga, expecting a stun, maybe a grip stun off of Iniquity. The stun does go out, and Tyrga is actually in a pretty good position. Doesn't have to sit too much of that stun, still has bark skin for most of the damage, and then blinks away afterwards. The AMS is down for the time being, and Tyrga is just ranging just to get his health up just a little by little. I wish I had some water. I'm actually kind of running out of breath.
I can't keep this fucking glass, dude.
Yeah, you can, man. I believe in you. This is the guy that carries me, ladies and gentlemen. You fucking got this, dude. Iniquity just pumping out heals as best as he can, gets a grip onto Tyrga, and Tyrga just tries to run it. Just again goes back to kiting strat. Gets stunned by Iniquity, and this is the moment for Iniquity to bust out as much damage as possible. Tyrga is again going to range it as best as he can. Roots don't stop him, slows don't stop him. The cat form goes strong. He's actually just trying to see if he can get some healing off of himself. Iniquity, I don't think he has too many defensive or offensive capabilities. Well, he probably does have a couple defensive capabilities, such as maybe still a full trinket ready and an IBF. Gets a finisher onto Tyrga, but the finisher isn't going to tick. Not right now, not today. Gets a stun onto Tyrga, and Tyrga doesn't have a trinket for the next 30 seconds. The bark skin goes out, but Tyrga might go down here. He's actually at a health portion where the finisher will actually go off, and the dots are still ticking strong. The Envy is up to heal himself as much as he can. He's actually going for the healing touch, cast heal, gets gripped, and now he needs to just blink away. The finisher for the DK still might finish off Tyrga. It gets really close. Tyrga was able to get a bit of extra health with that NS, but it seems like Tyrga just is all about kiting at this point. Trinkets, the stun that comes out from Iniquity, actually continues to keep a good range away from Iniquity. The AMS goes out, so Iniquity isn't going to be slowed, isn't going to be taking too much damage, is going to sit pretty comfortable, and has his abilities, his coolies up and ready. Gets a grip onto Tyrga as Tyrga tries to kite away and root him. Tyrga might be dead next turn, but the question is, does he have a Can he range Iniquity far enough because the grip isn't there? Can he get off that heal right now? Can he get some damage out and maybe force Iniquity out of some cooldowns? Maybe for the next guy. The stun goes out, Iniquity comes in, gets maybe about 3 seconds on the stun, gets the finisher up. The Bark skin is up, and that's what I was going to ask. Is the Bark skin going to be up for Tyrga? Tyrga blinks but gets grip, which is a great play by Iniquity, and maybe a slight misplay by Tyrga. The finisher doesn't kill off Tyrga though. The Soul Reaper does not kill him. He survived it at least 4 or 5 times now. Iniquity is actually just trying to top himself off in hell, just trying to keep himself up and running. Took a first chunk of dent, and now he's sitting in a full clone. Tyrga caught a break just for a moment, but the question is, how long is that break gonna last?
Fuck,
Another,
I'm so dead.
The stun goes out into a grip, into a finisher. The Soul Reaper is up. Tyrga's trying to kite, and he's actually stealth. Or did he quit? No, Tyrga is still up and running. Tyrga is still living. How is this still alive? The NV goes up, the burst goes up, just trying to survive through it. He does not die. He just never dies to the Soul Reaper. He just perseveres through it. All Iniquity can do right now is wait for the next grip and maybe a next stun. He does get a grip on Tyrga. Tyrga needs to blink this away. The stun goes out. The Soul Reaper goes up again. Gonna see if the finisher can finish him off. The Bark skin is up. Tyrga is ranging him. No grips to get him back or nothing. The Soul Reaper doesn't even take effect because his health is way too high. Tyrga is fighting literally like a druid, tooth and nail, tooth and claw, until the very end. Gets a full healing touch off. Just trying to survive as best he can. Doing an amazing job of kiting and CCing. Gets another clone off into a trinket, into a AMS, and then goes back to kiting when the DK does have advantage of moving up. The stun goes out, he trinkets a stun. Oh my god, the trinket has been used twice, so this game has been lasting for at least 4 minutes or so, and we're sitting at about 9% dampening. Tyrga just doesn't die to a Death Knight. I mean, usually in arenas we go in and Tyrga's like, oh fuck, I hate Death Knights, but here you can tell just how much he hates him. He is not going down without a decent fight. The IBF goes out for Iniquity. Iniquity is actually burning through a lot of his defensive cooldowns. He might be able to have Desecrate Ground by now, but that's really about it. The AMS goes up, and this is it that he has against Tyrga in terms of defensives. The stun goes out onto Bark skin, doesn't get too much damage during that stun. Tyrga is actually able to range him as much as possible and gets NV back up, trying to survive again, fighting tooth and claw just to live, just to survive. Gets gripped on, and he might die in cat form, and the dots take him out. Iniquity takes Tyrga, but not without a damn good fight. Holy shit. You want to commentate this, dude?
I guess.
I'm out of breath, man.
What killed me?
It wasn't. It was probably.
Oh,
okay. I did stack on you like 14, I think. Go ahead.
Hang on, I can't even see them. Okay, now I can see them. So Violator does get stunned up, but he does sit in D stance. He's popping the burst onto Iniquity. Iniquity shouldn't have any cooldowns. He was, when we were dueling, spamming everything into Death Siphons, so we do know that those heal a lot. And Violator trying to prevent any damage so he can have a lot of health into the next duel. He pops the Dive of the Sword. Hang on a second, I have to do something.
It's actually getting Iniquity real low. Gets an execute on Iniquity. Iniquity goes down. No, he didn't have IBF, which we needed against a warrior. Violator actually used his defensives to stay offensive, and now Violator has to deal with a Boomkin. Violator actually has no coolies from here on, might be able to have a heal, and if he can, he's reflecting a root onto Mocha. Mocha burns a Bark, and I feel like Mocha is actually going to win this just because Mocha still has a lot of coolies available, hasn't really popped much burst, hasn't really popped anything of anything, but Violator did go through a lot of his cooldowns. He even popped Rallying. All Violator really has is whatever little bit healing passive that he can get. Maybe he might be able to get a full heal on himself, whatever reflex he can get on himself, might be able to reflect a fat boomy crit, but Violator is still real low on health. Health is literally ticking down on him. He does burn through his heal. Enrage regen comes out, gets him to maybe 25%, but not in comfortable range at all. All Violator can do is engage Mocha every time Violator has a stun. If Violator can get some trinkets, maybe an avatar, he might be able to Colossus, MS, maybe some fat execute damage, and stun goes out in Colossus Smash. MS drops Mocha really low, might be able to get him in that execute range, and he executes him! Violator twice! 2 in a row, goes in, baits his time, and then fucks him. And Sap Cutie, that actually was... You're supposed to start to start, but... I know he's on my team, but like... I know he's on my team, but... He didn't start at the start.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, you want to commentate this?
So
Lament,
the
though.
warrior actually did take down 2 people.
2.
Takes down Mocha, the trash boomkin that I was doing threes with. Sap Cutie is against Lumantho, but as we all know, DKs are very strong in duels. He AMSs to try to stop any poison damage, I believe, from the sub-rogue. The sub-rogue does have evasion. He uses cloak, evasion, everything there at the start, trying to just chunk down Lumantha, who takes about 30% health. 30% of his health gone. However, he is healing up, even though he was sitting in Frost Pres the whole time. He does have about a full bar of runic power. Sap Cutie is still trying to get a restealth. He gets the sap onto the Lumantha. So the Lumantha's just going to sit this while Sap Cutie, even though he does have a dot on him, he's trying to get that restealth. He saps Lumantha again. He decides to open back up. Lumantha is still sitting in that Frost Presence, so he will be taking a lot of damage. He does get stunned right as soon as Lumantha gets out of CC. He is getting hurt really, really bad. He pops the combat red, but Lumantha is just sitting there with his DK heals and his DK AMS and all of his fucking damage. It looks like he will go down here. No, he won't. He does not. He did not get the Death Siphon, not the Death Siphon. What's the
Soul Reaper? Soul Reaper was not put on Sap Cutie. Sap Cutie is actually fighting again, just like Tyrga, inspired by him. Tooth and nail. The mass DFA comes out. Lumantha and Sap Cutie are just fighting, baiting it out. The evasion goes out. Lumantha is now face to verse against Meeks, last person on the team. Lumantha didn't burn through a lot of coolies, did he? He burned through that IBF.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but that DFA hit for Lumantha for about 40% of his health. That's a lot of damage, especially on a DK. Looks like Lumantha doesn't have any cooldowns left, so he's just gonna go down to Dal. But he did get the Shadow Reflection, which will not be available for his duel against the Feral. Dal also did pop that Adrenaline Rush. He's trying to make the best use of it while Imley is sitting in health or bear form. He decides to use Stampeding Roar to get away. He does have a weapon proc. Dal is chasing after him while he has defensives and the upper hand right now. Imley does look like he gets the restealth. Maybe with a Shadow Melt, he opens back up on Dal, who doesn't get stunned. He finally gets stunned. He decides to trinket that stun. Dal counters back with a kidney. He has the big damage from the internal bleeding. He has Cloak, so he know that he's going to try to get that Vanish because he doesn't have Fairy Swarm on it. Imley actually pops a Savage Defense there. He wild charges Dal for the root. He is going to get the clone onto Dal. Dal pops Smoke Bomb. However, because of lag, he does get cloned anyways. Imley is sitting behind the pillar, healing back up. He has about half of the Savage Roar still. Dal gets stunned. He has a bleed on him, which is going to make it really hard for him to stealth again. And he has Fairy Swarm. He is slowed. He is stuck in that stun lock that Ferals are so good at doing. He gets stunned back again. This is a really good fight. However, Ferals do tend to have the upper hand in the long fight. Once rogues run out of cooldowns, they do not have much, while Ferals can still sit there and heal and wait for their bleeds to tick down Dal. Dal does have a Rip and a Rake on him. He should go down to these dots. It will be a miracle. Nope. So he goes down, and who is left on your team?
Sap Cutie decided to relog and come back.
Fucking Sap.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sap Cutie? Yo. Okay, somebody finish off Sap Cutie. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Sap Cutie. This does not need to last as long as it did. I was pretty sure the Lumantha was gonna... Yeah.
Please don't res if you're gonna do that. That's kind of fucking annoying.
We never died. Sap Cutie, we lost. You're the reason why. The Dalros team has been qualified because of Sap Cutie. Rip. By the way, Blood Prez is only for nubs. Unless you live and survive, and then it's a different story. I wish I didn't burn that Shadow Reflection on Lumantha, I guess in retrospect. But I was thinking Lumantha had like... He was gonna use Desecrate Ground. And I was kinda expecting Rogue DK to attack me rather than Aimly. Fuck. Otherwise, I thought I played well. If I got that Smoke Bomb on Clone, I think that would have been so fucking good, dude. But I guess not.
Oh wow, Imley does get him back out of the DFA. Oh my god, he melds the DFA just like I do. So that does stop the big part of damage from the DFA, the actual eviscerate part. Sap Cutie is trying to get a restealth, but he does have a bleed
Sap, what are you fucking doing? Sap.
I think it's just trolling.
Maybe
oh my god.
Trying.
DK Rogue, DK, hit him.
Kill him. Just end this.
Yes,
otherwise all of us have to actually like AFK the fuck out. There we go. Alright.
I did most damage though.
You did? Oh.
It was
Your fucking dueling as a DK was actually the closest thing I've ever seen.
I'm furious because